right from the beginning, the videos were never for me. It was always for my audience. So whenever I would win, I would never say I won. It was we won, right? We were doing it together, and I wanted them to feel like they were sitting right there beside me playing. And I really wanted to have a good community of people that could converse together positively. And there were tons of groups on Facebook and that for gamblers, but they always just turn so sour. I didn't want that.
This podcast is sponsored by Pragmatic Solutions, the player account management platform chosen by today's smart betting and gaming operators. Don't let technical constraints delay you from achieving your business goals. Expand your business, boost your margins, and dominate the market in any leading regulated jurisdiction with our powerful, flexible, and secure iGaming platform. Enjoy its extensive marketing tools, compliance protection, real-time data, and a wide portfolio of over 1,000 industry providers. It's time to upgrade your technology. Let Pragmatic Solutions show you the modern approach. Visit pragmatic.solutions and join the smart thinkers.
This podcast is brought to you by Pragmatic Play, a leading game developer providing player favorites to the most successful brands across the industry. With an award-winning multi-product portfolio of slots, live casino, bingo, virtual sports, and more, Pragmatic Play is powering up new possibilities of play through one single API. Visit pragmaticplay.com and discover your favorite every time.
And bingo, bango, bongo, bingo. Brian Christopher with us here from the MGM show floor in the casino, straight in the casino. This is a first for the podcast here at Next to Theo. How are you doing today, Brian?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic here. And obviously, Brian, you are not a newcomer to kind of these podcast formats and video mediums that we are presenting today. As Brian, you are obviously the foremost, the frontier, the premier gambling streamer, particularly in the North American market there, and hence why we see this beautiful backdrop of slot machines behind you. So what's up there? Why are you on the casino floor, Brian?
Yeah, I'm out in Detroit promoting for BetMGM. I'm an ambassador for them. And then we're also doing a live stream to celebrate passing 2 million subscribers, 2 million followers online.
All right. We just passed 2,500 ourselves here at Next Hotel. So, I can, one day we'll get there as well, I suppose, maybe in about 2,000 or 3,000 years or so. But congratulations, man.
We'll blow you up.
Yeah, for sure. After this podcast, yes, definitely. So, I mean, Brian, it's an incredibly fascinating phenomenon. You are, like I said, here the foremost slot streamer in North America. And, I come obviously from the online part of the industry where we have quite a number of streamers in the online segment. But you specialize, of course, in streaming slots in the land-based sector as well, of course, as in the online environment. But I just want to kind of kick things off today by talking about how did you get here? Like, how did you get into slot streaming, gambling? Is that a background that you had before? Where did you come from and how did you end up here?
Well, it's not something you go to university to study, but essentially, I mean, I've always enjoyed gambling. Ever since I turned 19, I was legal to play in Canada, where I'm from, in Toronto. And so I always enjoyed it. But to make it into a career was never a choice. It just kind of happened. I uploaded a few videos of myself having fun on the casino floor, thought nothing of it. And I was never going to upload them again. But those videos exploded. So we put out a few more. And those just took off so fast that I decided to put my life on hold and see where this path took me instead. And it's been almost 9.5 years now that we've been doing this.
I was going to say, you were 19, so it was like 3 or 4 years ago then.
Yeah, right.
But no, okay, 9 years ago. Right. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, it's intriguing and fascinating. As you recorded those first videos and you uploaded them on YouTube, it was a passion project then, I suppose, and then you discovered that they started to take off. And how did this turn into, from going from recording, YouTube videos, uploading them for fun? How did this then become a career?
It just kind of happened. So essentially, at the 1 month mark, I realized this is going someplace. And I was like, let's just go fully into it for a moment, see if it continues on this path that I can see it going in. And if it does, then we'll continue on. So at the 2-month mark, I was like, this is it. This is where we're going. I was literally making 30 cents a day on YouTube, then $1 the next day, $1.50 the next day, just kept going bigger and bigger. And my following kept growing and growing. And it was a niche that was needed to be hit. I feel like there were some people doing this out there, but they weren't going full throttle. They weren't really connecting with the audience, and that was like my number one thing. As I was talking to them, I was having fun and playing for them. It was not just for myself and then sharing it. And so I kind of brought them all into the fold.
So fast forward 9 years to 2025. Not only are you streaming slots on the show floor on the casino anymore, but you also have kind of diversified with a lot of different products in your portfolio. So where is PC Slots today? Can you talk about the ecosystem that you created and the mediums you're active in and the products that you are?
Yeah, we cast a very wide net, we'll say. We now have 3 YouTube channels: BC Slots, BC Spins, BC Bets, hitting social casinos on there, hitting online gambling. We got it all. And we also go online. We have fliptheswitch.com, which is our site where we put out new stories every single day, new articles teaching our audience about how slot machines work, where to go to play land-based, where to play online, giving them the best offers and the best tips and tricks to demystify, basically, the world of gambling, because everyone has their ideas of how the machines actually work, but we do the work for them. We interview places and get them all that stuff. So our team has now grown to 13 employees, plus some other contractors on the side to help us out. And so we're going fully at it. We also host like 8 to 10 different cruises every year. We're bringing hundreds of fans, thousands of fans on board with us to play in the casino and travel with us. It's phenomenal where it's gone.
Yeah, brilliant. And like throughout these 9 years, have you had these like kind of game-changing moments? I know that, for example, you signed this major deal with MGM, for example, hence where you are at the moment. But talk about like your kind of journey to date, if you've had these like really pivotal moments that elevated the business.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's been so many different ones that I never expected as well. Partnering with social casinos and their apps has been really great for us. Partnering with BetMGM as an ambassador, with Carnival for their cruise lines. And now our next one is partnering with SportsGrid for a TV show. It's all about reaching a larger audience, and that will definitely help us achieve that too.
Yeah, brilliant. So this is the latest deal, as far as I understand it, with the SportsGrid deal. Good friends of ours as well, good friends of Next. They always attend our shows and report from our conferences. Really great and interesting guys. And being European myself, I didn't realize what reach SportsGrid had. But when I was traveling back from San Francisco last time I was in the US, I went to the airport and I was sitting at a sports bar, and lo and behold, on the TV it was SportsGrid, and I'm like, oh my god, I know these guys.
Yeah.
So what will this mean? What is the TV show? Is there anything you can reveal today? This is still a little bit under the cover.
Yeah.
What's going to happen there?
Well, we actually have a few different series in action. So one of them will take place, in a casino, and bring a bunch of our fans into the casino with us for a chance to compete against me on the slot machines and see if they can beat Brian Christopher. So that one will be really great. Another one will take us across the country.
Type thing, yeah?
What's that?
The Mr. Beast of gambling, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not that large a scale. If I can get a budget that big, I would go big on the slots for sure. And another idea we have is to go cross country and meet our fans and gamble with them in their hometowns as well. From the beginning, we've always been really big about community and bringing our audience together and building that trust with them. But also the community is huge for us. So we do a lot of events with them. And so they're a huge part of this. So they had to be a part of the TV show for sure.
Yeah, brilliant. And I'm curious to talk about community specifically. So as you mentioned, you built a pretty significant community now over the years. You organize the in-person events and community events and so on. Talk more about the community building aspect of what you've done, maybe from where you started, when you started to build this loyal follower base. And how have you built the community to date, and how do you maintain that community today?
Right. right from the beginning, the videos were never for me. It was always for my audience. So whenever I would win, I would never say I won. It was we won, right? We were doing it together, and I wanted them to feel like they were sitting right there beside me playing. And I really wanted to have a good community of people that could converse together positively. And there were tons of like groups on Facebook and that for gamblers, but they always just turned so sour, and I didn't want that. So
Yeah,
I created our own little fan club. It's a Brian Christopher fan club, but it's not about me. It's about the gambling, really. And I charge just $5 a month. I figured if I could just charge a little tiny bit, I definitely don't do it for the money, for the $5, but if I could charge just a little bit of money, that makes people want to be there, right? They're not just looking at something that's free and just hanging out and whatever. They want to be a part of that community. So that was a big thing for us. And soon after, like after our first year, we started that group. They're called our Rudies, and every year we do a big event just for them. And it brings about 300 to 350 fans from across the world that all fly in to Vegas or wherever we have it. We gamble together, we party all weekend long, and we give them a really good time. So that we do. And then every month we do events. We host events at casino partners with BetMGM, with at sea as well, obviously. On Carnival, we host tons of events on there. So it's always about getting them together to hang out. And a lot of our fans have created long-lasting friendships with each other now, because when they're at these events, they meet other people with the same mindset, and now they hang out. They're best friends. They go on trips together. It's really cool community that we've built.
Yeah. So I suppose they just like Taylor Swift have the Swifties, then this would be the Bryans. Then?
That's right. Sure.
No, brilliant. It's incredible to build a loyal following in that regard. So how big would you say that your community is at this point?
So we're over 5,000. I forget the exact number. We're at 5,500, something like that, which is perfect. I mean, like I said, we have millions of followers, but only 5,000 diehards, right? And that's what you want, a really tight-knit community. And so, just last night on the casino floor, I did a live stream just for them, and that allows them to be able to connect with me a little bit easier on a one-to-one basis. I'm able to read all their comments. Whereas when I do a regular live stream and I have thousands of people all jamming to get me to read their comments, hard to see it all. But this way I'm able to definitely connect with them, answer all their questions, and it makes them feel a little more a part of that community.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And what platform do you organize this community from? Do you do a Discord type thing? Or where do you pull this community together?
Yeah, we're on Patreon is where everybody joins, patreon.com/PC Slots. But then we have a Facebook group for them as well. So once they join Patreon, they can join us in that group. And then we give them monthly newsletters that give them discounts, entrance to free events, and all of our extra live streams for them too.
Yeah, brilliant. And a question more on the community side of things. So you obviously have organized the streams for them, so on and so forth. And as you point out as well, the gambling groups in general can kind of devolve into some negativity oftentimes. I've seen this, for example, on Reddit. You have the /gambling subreddit, there's online gambling, there's a few different ones. And I'm always curious, so I always join and kind of read and stuff like that. But it is sometimes hard to kind of keep that positive tone. So what's the secret, would you say, to your community being a more positive driven community? How do you keep that?
I'd say that positivity attracts positivity. It definitely does. I'll check out some other channels that might be more on the negative side, and you read their chat and it's so negative, right? Negativity attracts negativity. And when we host our events, it's they are the sweetest people. They're the calmest, nicest people you would ever want to meet, and that's exactly who we attract. I consider us a family-friendly channel, right? Family-oriented, we'll say, channel where it's not for kids, obviously, but it's mostly PG, and we're there to have fun. I will sit there and I will lose 10 grand, and I'll have a smile on my face, because I know how gambling works, right? We're there to have a good time, and that's what it's all about. Win or lose, we're just there to have a good time. And I'm always pushing people to use, an entertainment budget. We want everything to feel very authentic. So we always do authentic play, whether we're online or in the casino. It's me using my own money, which is also, important for me. Because there are channels out there that, there's seeded money from the online world or wherever, and it's just not enjoyable for me to watch, and I don't think the audience, like, it's exciting. Yay, they're doing like 5,000 a spin or even $10,000 a spin. It's not real, and there's no excitement level to that, whereas we're on the casino floor, we'll do $20 spins, we might do $50 spins, whatever it is, but it's all my own money. So the wins and the losses, like, it really hits, and the audience can feel that too. So we're just there together throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see in the streamer community. Like when you watch a streamer, you want to see genuine, authentic feelings, right? Like it's like all fun and games that you can watch someone play a fake, $5,000 spin. But why does it matter? Like, you want to see if it's brutal, you want to see like the person suffering. If they win, you want to see them happy, kind of thing.
It's true. At least I do, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, to that end, like, can you talk about maybe like the all-time favorite memory that you have from like your gambling from your gambling history so far, and maybe a second memory that was not so fun, maybe?
Yeah, I have so many memories of things that have happened. I mean, our last live stream of 2024 was actually shot here at MGM Grand Detroit, and it was the last game of the night, and that just happened to be the one where I hit my largest jackpot of my life on a slot machine. And we were live with our fan club at that time, so that was really special. Oh, wow. Definitely had a lasting memory for that one, and the audience, the fan club that were present for, they felt extra special, obviously, because they got to be a part of that. But then we got to share that video with the world too. So, and so that was like a massive. We won like 80 grand. It was like on a $37 bet, which is like unheard of, on a game that you would think maybe you might be able to win. Like the top prize on that machine was $10,000. So, yeah, a little extra special, right? Yeah. And a bad memory, like, I don't really have a lot. I can't place anything that really speaks to mind. Aside from like losing a lot of money in a night. But
you haven't had one of these nights where like you're just sinking deeper and deeper into the hole kind of thing, and you're like,
it's the worst. Those are the worst ones. It happens. There's some nights where you just win on every machine, and there's other ones where you just can't catch a break at all.
That's gambling. That's gambling.
Legit.
For sure. And I mean, it's quite interesting, as you mentioned, the community celebrates with you and so on. So do you create like kind of like a syndicate type thing here? And I want to ask you, like, there in the online world, there is a company called LiveSpins that's owned by Evolution that has this like bet behind feature, for example. I don't know, like, do you bring your community into your sessions as well, on that regard, that they are kind of bought into some extent?
Right. So online, there's no real legal way to do that, to kind of like pool your money. On the casino floor, there is, but they are working on it for online. So that's probably coming very soon here in the US. But yeah, on the casino floor, you have to be present in order to participate. You can't just like email me money or whatever. And so we do those group slot pull events every now and then. We're doing some in Virginia in a few weeks as well, where everyone puts in either $200 or $500 a person into one slot machine, and we just spin through the money once, and whatever's left we split equally.
Then you just go for it. I'm also curious, also, Brian, you've been at the casino floors for quite a number of years, and something I noticed now, especially going to Vegas, is that the RTP on the machines, especially on the strip, are becoming worse and worse, to the point like it's almost difficult to even play them at this point. Sometimes, like, what's your thoughts on this? Like, is this something you look out for a lot when you choose the machines that you play for? Like, what do you think about this trend of like, even you play the roulette on the American roulette, obviously double zero, so it's worse odds than here in Europe. But now you start to see triple zeros on the roulette.
Yeah, we have those too.
I think even quadruple zero, even like.
Oh God,
it's getting a bit out of hand. No, like, don't you think?
I don't play a lot on the strip, although I was at Park MGM last week, and I did leave with a profit after gambling a lot for 3 days. So, it might be tight, squeezing it up a little bit here or there, but I don't think it's really changed that much. I feel like the slot machines themselves have become a lot more volatile, though. So, like most games rely heavily on you hitting a big jackpot or a big bonus, rather, to get those big wins, whereas the majority of your spins are not going to be as exciting, right? And that's part of why I decided to partner with BetMGM also, is because I'm trying to teach the world, like, everyone's scared about gambling online here still, and I'm like, there's nothing to be scared about. In fact, the paybacks are better online. And on my live stream last night, I was like, let me show you guys, and I didn't even look beforehand, but the game that we were playing had almost 95% RTP, and that's, you can get that on a 20-cent bet. You're never going to find that on a casino floor. You know what I mean?
No.
So I'm trying to get people used to understanding that and being like, on the casino floor, you're definitely, not going to get the same kind of hits. But at the end of the day, I feel like if it's 1 or 2% up or down, you're not necessarily going to feel that all the time, right? Over the course of your life, you might feel it a little bit, but like on each gambling trip, it's all about getting that bonus or getting that one hit. So yeah, the volatility has definitely increased. I'd say like 90% maybe of games on the floor right now are volatile, and it's not getting any easier.
Yeah, right. To that end, what's your all-time favorite game, Brian?
They're probably all volatile too. I know. We all say that we hate volatile games, but we really love them. Oh my gosh! I should just look behind me and.
You can't say your own game, by the way.
I can't say my own game. Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No worries. Let's see. I'm really enjoying Monopoly Express right now. And typically I don't love Monopoly games because I feel like they're so tight. But this one in particular, it hits different. I like it. You get a lot more bonuses on it. I've always been a sucker for those like hold and spin kind of games. The triple pot games have really changed. And now most new games that are hitting the floor are those 3-pot games. And unfortunately, I like them a lot too. They're very exciting to me. What else? All the new, I guess it's all those like Dragon Link style games that have like morphed into something newer and exciting. And there's new Buffalo ones with triple, quadruple pots now too, and that's what I like. But like, I'm a weird one because I play every game, right? I have to show the audience everything that's out there, whatever's new. So I don't necessarily know what all my favorites are. I just know that I play everything, and sometimes I get lucky.
I have a totally irrational affliction for Goldfish of Light and Wonder.
Yes.
It's the only game I played in the last 15, 17 years whenever I go to Vegas. And these days, Goldfish is hidden in the corner somewhere. It used to be the prime parade slot back in my day,
Yeah.
But,
they have newer versions now too. They got some good ones out there now too.
Yeah, oh my god, this is proper tease, the Goldfish these days.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but
There's something special about that original one though. I love the original Goldfish.
Yeah, it's hard to beat it. Hard to beat it, for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk as well about the content production itself, right? So, as you mentioned, back in the day, you produced kind of YouTube videos a bit randomly, perhaps, posted them, and lo and behold, some of them became successful. But I would imagine, fast forward now, 9 years later, that you have a lot of tips and tricks for content creators, perhaps, on how to create successful content on YouTube, particularly Facebook as well, TikTok, other mediums. So I'm curious to hear, when you produce a video, what are kind of the keys to success for a video to become popular? How do you create a really good content piece that also is being picked up by the audience?
I think number one is personality over video production, right? You could have the top line video production and the host is boring or doesn't talk or whatever, right? Because the easiest part is gambling. You just press a button. Anyone can do that, right? So my number one thing is just be yourself, put out your own persona. Don't compare yourself to everyone else out there. Just bring something unique that is you. And, it'll take you some time to find your place. I've done over 6,000 videos, probably more than that by now, online. And my first 1,000 were probably horrible. People didn't care about the production so much. They just wanted to enjoy the fun. And just keep trying to perfect yourself as you go. Don't wait until you have perfection before you start filming, because then it's too late. You got to start now, fail at the beginning, and keep on growing. Every time you put out a video, try and increase it and do better.
Yeah, brilliant. And are you thinking a lot about thumbnail design, these more detailed part of this production to make these engaging videos? Are there details that are important to think about as well? Let's say, even if you are that engaging host?
Absolutely, yeah. We look at everything. We probably post about 6 videos a day plus social media posts, but we have to look at everything. So we have a big team to help with that. I actually have a meeting later today to review our thumbnail process, and we always want to keep them fresh and new, and make them, because it's harder for us because we have 3 different YouTube channels pushing 3 different things, and so we want people when they're swiping through to know what it is just by looking at the thumbnail too. And so they each have to look a little different and cater to that little different niche audience. And so, yeah, looking at like how big Brian is on it, his expressions, or how what do we show? Do we show just like the game title? Do we show a bonus hit? You don't want to give away too much, but how much? Do you want to put words on it? You know, there's a lot of different things that go into it. And you can do a lot of A/B testing as well. So you could, on YouTube, they allow you to upload 2 or 3 thumbnails, and they'll tell you which one's performing best, and it'll switch to that one instead. So that has become a big help. It's a lot more work though to make that many more thumbnails, but once you get a handle of what catches people's eyes, then hopefully you can just keep that on going forward.
Yeah, yes. And do you notice a difference in the type of videos that are becoming popular these days compared to, say, 9 years ago? I'm thinking like attention spans, so on and so forth. Like, do you see kind of trends evolving constantly?
Yeah, 2 different things. So yeah, attention span definitely is so tiny now. You know, people will watch a lot less these days. They want their vertical videos and just swipe through, watch 3 seconds, and keep on going. You know, our average watch time for a video used to be about 25 minutes. It's about 19 now, which is still massive. Oh, wow. But that also takes into account all the short videos that we're doing now as well, which is like a minute long. So it probably is still a pretty good number. But on top of that, you know, when I started, there was like, you know, half a dozen people doing this. Now there's over 1,000 people trying to do these channels, all trying to, you know, compete for the spotlight. And unfortunately, the ones that are winning are the ones who want to do the biggest bets. And so that's definitely changes the game. You know, you have multimillionaires coming in and being like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And they start off doing $500 a spin. You know, it's like, oh, do I really want to compete with that? Not really. You know, at the end of the day, we're running a business here too. We have employees to feed and everything else. And so we do a lot of big spins, but we got to keep it under control, you know, because you make money on YouTube and make money on Facebook and everything else, but it's not enough to continue doing $1,000 spends on every video. And so that's definitely changed the game. And I definitely encourage new players to the field that to not do those bets. You don't need to do those bets. There's a niche audience for everybody. And, you know, if I kept to my $5 spins, I'd probably still be doing great, you know, but I've definitely raised my spins over the years as I've been allowed to. And, you know, I have no regrets. Although I probably would have saved a lot more money if I kept it down to $5 or $10 bets the whole time. But, you know, I think there's a need for all bet levels. But to capture like the biggest audience, I mean, if you're flipping through and you don't even watch slot videos, but you come across someone betting that much money, it's going to catch your eye, right? So
yeah, for sure. In regards to the short attention span these days, I think my favorite fact that I heard is like so fascinating on this front, where I was speaking to a friend of mine in the Gen Z world who said, Pierre, do you know how people, or like how the Gen Zs listen to music these days? You know, because like you and me, Brian, probably we listen to Spotify and we have our playlist there, we listen through. But you know how the Gen Zs listen to music? They have their playlist on TikTok that skips the intro part, and they only listen to the kind of tempo part of the song. So like they don't have the attention span to start off the song to let it build up, but they listen to the heavy part, like the high energy part. And when that is over, then the next song kicks in with the high energy part as well. I thought I was like mind blown here.
Yeah, it's wild. It is wild though how TikTok has blown up the music industry as well. Like songs that were famous 20, 30, 40 years ago come back with a vengeance right now and are now number 1 on the Billboard charts because of TikTok. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Another thing I'm curious about. So you mentioned, of course, other streamers that are playing for these like ridiculously high amounts.
For me, it's ridiculous. So them, it might not be. It might be an everyday.
I mean, it's a lot oftentimes. But you know, oftentimes you see, you know, the elephant in the room, I suppose, in the streaming world is that many of the streamers are funded by the crypto casinos, which are you know blowing up. We see a lot of advertisements on the social medias and so on. You know, I would imagine, without knowing that many details, that the crypto casinos offers would be quite considerably higher than the regulated offering, let's say. And in your case, you chose to go down the route of working with the BetMGM, highly regulated, respected, solid brand.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, if I were to guess, that you've had offers on the table without knowing. I'm just guessing now from the crypto casinos, for example. So I'm just gonna presume my question here that is there a reason why you didn't go down that route, which I would imagine would be much more profitable if you look at dollar signs? And what do you think of the kind of crypto streaming in general?
So we have been offered millions of dollars to promote crypto. Legit, it's a hard thing to say no to. But I've always been a man of my word. I follow the law, and if the law says it's okay, then I'm going to do it, and that's it. I want to make sure that I'm promoting things that fall within the legal construct of wherever it is that people are, and I want to make sure that they're safe. And so people will email me, "Hey Brian, can I play on this one?" I'm like, "Never heard of it. I don't think that's the legal one," or like, "Actually, that's not legal in that state," And so that's why that's also why we have, flipaswitch.com, because that's where we can literally tell people this is where you can play or you cannot play these style of games, And again, it goes back to being authentic and authentic play. It's not real. I never want to be responsible for someone losing their life savings. You know what I mean? And if they're going to watch me on crypto, gambling $5,000 a spin, winning millions of dollars on there or whatever it is, I don't want to be responsible for them being like, okay, I'm going to sell out my 401k and I'm going to gamble the way Brian does and lose everything, right? And that's why also, right from my very first video that I ever published, at the very end of the video, it says, this is how much money I put in, this is how much money I took out. I've always tried to keep it very transparent. And I show everything. I show all my wins and I show all of my losses. And I think that's really important. And it's important for me to know that my audience understands that this is my own money again. It's not fake. There's nothing fake about it. It's 100% cash and it's mine. I should have a tear coming down right now because I lose so much.
As we are talking here, exactly. So, on that note, with the transparency part, I think that's brilliant. I
got some
fan club in the background.
Those are workers too.
The fans are walking by now. So on the transparency note, do you keep kind of tally on not just the sessions, but say year on year, for example, or month by month, and is that the things you share as well? Is this something you're willing to share here, for example? It's interesting to know, as you say, because this does play into part of gambling is real. You don't just win all the time, because you see a highlight video on YouTube. Right?
I actually know exactly what the number is because I do keep a tally of it, and I updated it today. Every time I'm at a casino, I write down how much money I start with and finish with. So year to date, we are about, we'll say the first 7 months are complete, right? Down about $138,000 on the casino floor, which is about $19,000 a month, if I remember my math right that I figured out earlier. And that's on the casino floor. And then on BetMGM, I'm having a really good year on BetMGM. I must add, I'm down $7,000 only for the entire first 7 months, which is massive. My live stream last night, I was doing $100 spins. So fingers crossed we can keep that going till the end of the year. I'm more realistic than that, but hopefully we can keep going.
and it's difficult when you play slot machines, particularly to have the longer time goes. Of course, the less likely you are to have winning streaks. Let's say. Have you managed to have a winning year?
No.
It's very very no. It's almost. It would be if you hit a jackpot, right? That would carry the.
That's it. I'd have to hit
I'd
have to hit a really big one. Last year, I finished my year winning an $80,000 jackpot. I did not finish up for the year. Still, I'd need to win a substantial, a couple $100,000 maybe or so. But I'm hoping to win one of those big $1 million ones one day. Either on the slot floor or on BetMGM. That would be nice.
Exactly. But this is the reality of gambling. It's you can have nights where it's just the best feeling ever. You win a couple of grand and you high five your friends, and those are the memories you remember for a long, long time afterwards. And and most of the nights you lose a little bit, and in the long run you're probably gonna lose, right? But
Absolutely.
It's the entertainment and the enjoyment that you get from those nights in general that makes it all worth it. That's what good gambling is. It's even when you lose, it's still worth it.
Yeah, that's why we call it entertainment budget. You're having entertainment, instead of going to the concert or the ball game or whatever. Have your fun this way too.
Yeah, absolutely. To start rounding things off, Brian, I'm curious to hear kind of the future of BC slots. You mentioned, of course, that you have the TV show ahead of you with our friends at SportsGrid. But where do you see this thing going, Brian? I mean, you created something pretty unique, and you are definitely one of the foremost characters in the entire gambling industry in the US at this point. You get regular hosting gigs, whenever the industry needs to be represented. So, like, where is this thing heading, Brian? Where do you see these slots?
I definitely see our partnership with SportsGrid becoming something quite large. They have their eyes set on a massive, 1, 2, 3+ TV series that we can do with them. It could become really, really massive. They've already started, airing our YouTube videos on there as well, and they're performing quite well. So I think that will help grow our audience as a whole. And like, honestly, my retirement plan is like travel the world and, go over to Europe, play online over there. Hopefully California gets online gambling one day, and then I can just retire in my basement, just gamble all day online with everybody and hang out. And I'll definitely slow down, but I won't be stopping anytime soon. I enjoy it too much.
That's awesome, man. And I mean, speaking of the traveling the world, I'm sitting here in Malta. Of course, the kind of the Vegas for online gambling, if you will. The online gambling industry here is prevalent, and I heard that you have some Maltese heritage. Is that great?
Yes. My grandparents and my father were born there. I visited there probably over half a dozen times, maybe a dozen times. I even lived there for 5 months. Once I wanted to experience what life would be like over there, and so I held a couple jobs while I lived there, and then traveled Europe and stayed out there for a few years actually. But I love Malta so much. It's got a huge part of my heart, and my husband and I are actually talking about getting a little vacation spot down there one day. I think that would be really nice to have.
You're more than welcome, Brian, and it seems like it runs in the blood then, essentially, that you have the genes from the island here, which is, of course, well connected with gambling. And next time you come out here, very happy to host you over, show you around a bit from the different offices and in the gambling world help. But yes, thank you so much, Brian. It's been great to have you with us. This was a first to have the guest streaming right from the casino floor. Great to see the action behind you here in the meantime. And thank you so much for giving us this update today.
Thank you so much, Pierre. Look forward to seeing you next time.